Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, and this is another altcoin update as we're going to go over with our beautiful, lovely subscriber the coins he has requested. And he came up with the coins, he came up with the price that he felt was a good donation to the channel, to support said channel so we can continue on our mission at Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. And it's a generous donation and it's greatly appreciated. So we give him every day, God willing, a beautiful update on the market and the state of the current update on these coins that he has. He rotates them. There's new ones. This one is SDN. We go over every day what we're looking at on the chart, and then we follow the chart and kind of see what we think may happen. Just like right now, if you're watching this is a new coin, so these ones are hard. It's only been out for a few months, so the only data we have is what we can see out in front of us, which isn't very much, right? We've been within this channel, so all you can go off of right now, if you're trying to technical trade, is when you hit support, you sell. When you hit resistance, you sell. Support, you buy. Resistance, sell. Resistance, 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 support, buy, resistance, sell. And then you could try a support buy and hope you come back up here again. But what I'm looking at yesterday or 2 days ago was the first time he wanted me to look at this coin. Is what I think's going on is you may, just as the overall crypto market and the stock market is getting the news and digesting the news with the interest rate hikes and the tapering and what's going to go on early to mid next year. I think as the buying dries up, as the Fed stops buying asset purchasing, T-bills, treasuries, bonds, stocks, right? And they stop doing all that and pumping liquidity into the market. There's not as many buyers there because the government's not buying these bonds and these stocks and putting the money in there. So any pump you get, they quickly get sold off, right? Like yesterday, the markets rallied, but the markets quickly topped off, leveled off today, and they primarily sold off in the crypto sphere and in the stock market and the risk assets. But I think you're going to trade up and down, and I think you're going to be coming down here to retest this critical ring right here, right? And each time you come up on a ring, like we always watch these ring systems that we play, and this one it's really doing a good job because all it does is give you an idea that there's a move is going to happen, and you can kind of see from the past what's going to happen. But you can see with our industry exclusive pointer tool, we hit resistance, came up to the ring, kind of traded along and up it, and then got rejected and fell, right? And then we came up, traded up to the next ring, similar to how we did this one, and then we fell and got supported, fell again, got supported on the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement, then got bought back up, hit the 200-day moving average, got rejected, traded over and sideways, hit this 50% retracement level and more or less traded sideways and then pumped as we approached this next ring and then traded down into the ring, right? And then traded through it and crashed again. So 2 out of the 3 rings here we've went down after we've crossed the ring, but we would get rejected by that said same ring underneath farther down. This is the 0.362 Fibonacci retracement. Then we got pumped up, hit the 200-day, got rejected, came right back down to that 0.326 Fibonacci and built the bottom and then pumped up through it, but again hit the moving average, the 200-day in green, got beat down again like it did back here on a wick, right here, right here, right here, back there, right now, right? Did them all them times right there. So then it did it again. So you can see how that's doing that. But every time it hits one of these rings, it gets supported, right? Gets supported, like it's support on the 50%, support on the 50%, but then it pumps up, and when it runs into another ring, it's resistance, and it came down and got supported on the 50% retracement ring again, then pumped for a second time and got rejected just shy of the 0.362 Fibonacci, got supported on the ring, then crashed to the next ring. But there, look at, if you see what's going on here, they do these little pumps, right? It comes to the ring, you get a little bit of a pump, and it's a fake out and then down, right? Then you come up to your next one, right? You trade up to the ring, a little smaller pump, and then down, right? Then you come up, you come through the ring above, and you come down to this ring. You get a little bit of a pump right there, and then a down, right? See that? You crash through right there, get supported on the 50% retracement, a fake pump, and then down, right? Right here, you trade up a little bit and then down. Right here, you trade into the ring, get that little fake pump, and then down, right? You get supported off the ring right here. You get a little bit of a pump and then down. See that trend that's going on there? You hit the ring, you get a big pump up here and then down, right? So what might happen when you come down here is you could do that again. You get a big pump and then down, right? Because this is still at 90 cents. This coin could go, this coin, if it breaks out of this rising, if it can't hold this $1.13 level, unfortunately, you're coming all the way down. Like we talked about the other day, you're coming all the way down to that $2, the 25-cent level. You can see how these rings are showing you that. So this is going to be very critical Christmas week, next week, between Tuesday and Sunday and Monday of next week. Between the 20th and the 28th. This is going to be very critical how this interacts with this, because this has been a slow, steady decline so far. If this could be a big support where it just flash drops, right? And you have a huge crash, 50% or so, or even more than that, down to the next level. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I'm very bearish on this coin. You can see the volume. There's almost no volume. That is horrid looking volume, right? So that's not good right there. That is not good at all. That is not what you want to see in the volume. That is horrible, horrible volume, right? So we're going to keep a close eye on this. And hopefully my laptop and this shitty, bad, horrible internet allows me to do this, because it's not allowing some of these tools to come out. And here's Agix. I remember when you wanted this coin before. You can see I put our technical stuff back on here. This is a very new coin, so we can go to the 2-hour time frame, right? Then we can zoom out a little bit. And you can see this thing had a huge pump, right? Let's zoom out more, the 4-hour. I remember this coin before. Man, this internet is brutal. I remember this coin before. This video is going to take forever to come out. When it was down in here, and I remember when it started pumping. And then I remember I said this was topping out, and I think I briefly went over how I thought this could be a head and shoulders topping reverse with a left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder, right? But you can see after this pump, we've been in this falling channel now, right? And the price got up to, what did it get up to? 64 cents. Pretty high. But you can see now you had a big volume spike right there, and it quickly sold off. But the overall volume in this coin is not very impressive. So that's not, it's not a very impressive coin, or a very impressive volume. But you can see we got going on here. This is our shit house down here. This is our major volume traded area right here. So we're right at the bottom of, if we get below this, you're very bearish. When you break below the volume traded range, you get very bearish very quick, right? But you can see what we've had going on in this coin. We had our first upper resistance up here at 59 cents, right? The fuck? We had our first upper resistance at 59 cents, or 56 cents. Then we had lower support for the first time. We built the base down at 30 cents, right? And you can see how far it has just been progressing lower and lower and lower and lower. And now you're at a critical spot on our volume traded area. This is a critical area to hold. If you can't hold the 17 cents, you're coming right down to the top end of the shithouse, because there's going to be no volume in here, and you would most likely come down to the bottom part of this channel, out into here somewhere, right? And the reason it would fall that quick is if you go back, and I zoomed out, which I'm not going to. We're going to zoom in closer. There's not a lot of volume traded within this black zone right here between the green and the shithouse in red, right? So you would have a pretty substantial and steep and painful drop of about, with our industry exclusive drawing tool, you'd be having 18-19% flush in between where the last amount of buyers are and where the next amount of buyers could possibly be, down here at your lower support at about 14.5 cents. So this is a very critical zone for this coin, Agix, right now. If you can't hold this zone and start to trade back up into this upper end of the green box, the volume support range, and get on top of it to get bullish again, and then see if you can't break out of that rising channel, right? You're gonna come up and hit the moving average maybe, and then come down real quick right here. This whole area right here is gonna get traded through very quick. It's not gonna do anything like this, right? It's not gonna dance around. It's gonna dip through, and then bam, it's just going to shoot right through there and come down to where buyers should be, right? So that's what I'm looking for in AGIX. We're going to keep an eye on that as it's a new coin. Make sure that's still recording because this internet is horrendous. Revain coin, we've called this beautifully so far. That's your upper end potential on any pump, right? Is this this falling channel that we're in, or falling wedge. This 0.0117 is major upper resistance anytime that you pump, but your first resistance that you would have to cross would be 0.01, or this red ring that's right here, right? These rings work very well, and this is a major area to get above if you're trying to get bullish, right? And then if you look over here, underneath your major support is this blue ring that's uptrending, and this lower support of this falling wedge that's downtrending, right? So right now on current price today, it would be on the blue ring would be 0.00871, and on the falling wedge would be 0.00840, right? But we're going to put it on the fib circle because I think that's going to hold a little more significance over here. And you can see, so right now I would play this as being very bearish. I don't like the looks of this. I diagnosed, snipped out, and detected after I woke up going to work that morning when we had a 60% pump, calling for it to immediately sell off all the way back down to this red underneath support at 0.010. And I said, if anybody got in back here playing a pump and you were up substantial profit, get out, right? If you were down here and you bought in, or up here and you were getting hammered down here, and then you got this relief rally to where you were down 30, 40, 60%, but all of a sudden you're even or up 20 or 30%, I said get out, because this thing had one spot to go and it was straight back down again, right? It had no chance of staying up. You can see the volumes tanked. There is no volume besides that one volume spike in the middle of the night where it was thinly traded, and probably over a thinly traded coin. And then people were waking up Eastern time in the US at 6, 7, 8 o'clock, seeing it up 60%, saying I gotta get in at all costs. They jump into the shower, they come out, they're down 40% already, right? And it's a down train, and you're getting fleece heisted and shisted and wrecked. And I told you it was coming down here, and now this is a critical spot. If you can't hold this 0.00873, you're coming immediately down to the underneath support down here that we went over on this falling wedge. And if you can't hold that, these are where your buyers are going to be. This is how simple when you put these rings in, and then you draw out the patterns, you get the volume indicator, and there it just shows you where there's support and resistance, right? And right now I'm very bearish, so every time it pumps up, I'm going to be bearish. When it hits one of these resistance zones, I'm going to play it that it's going to fall down, right? And then it's saying this would be your next support zone. But if it dances around and can't hold, you're coming here, and this is where you'd watch for buyers. And if you dance up, look for it to get rejected, because anytime you hit overhead resistance, I think you're bearish and you get rejected. Then you fall through that, and then you're like, oh, where could there be buyers? Right here, right? Then you trade up, back test this falling wedge, hit it as overhead resistance, or get rejected, fall through now this green ring, and then this would be your next underneath target, right? So these are all areas on support and resistance. If this is going to play to the bearish side, this is a way it could happen, right? Or if you're trying to get bullish, you hit this, bounce off of the blue ring as support, and get traded back up, way up here to upper resistance at 0.010. But I would play that to get rejected because I think you're bearish. But if you broke through it, this rising wedge, upper resistance, or the falling wedge, upper resistance would be your next support zone, right? And then if you broke above that, it would be way up here. But I'm not forecasting it to break up there. I think it's going to take this downtrend. So that's what I'm watching out for there. Then the Revain, and now the Dapp coin is the same thing we were looking at yesterday, but it actually did. Let's get some of this off. It actually did get back in here. Remember yesterday we were saying, well, you got to look forward to, if you are trying to get bullish, you had to. Yesterday we were down on the bottom side trying to bust back into this falling channel, and I said you got to get up into there and then get over this moving average, and you wicked above it, and now you've come back down. The volume is not overall impressive, but that's not to say this couldn't pop up and make a big spike real quick to come up here to upper resistance. Am I forecasting a 16% move up? No, I'm not. Not right now. I can't confidently say that. What I'm looking at in the market right now, if I zoom on in, I think this is a big fake out. It's a topping out candle right now. And how I know that in the 45 is you got this big wick, just a huge wick, heavy sell pressure. There's buyers all over this 200-day moving average to get it rejected. And if we isolate in a little bit closer to the 3-minute time frame, that's why we always start from a far out time frame and work our way in for a super simple, easy way to trade this market. Now, if you come on in here to a tighter time scale, you can see the disaster that's about to unfold, right? Look at this disaster that's about to unfold. Come on. Zoom back the fuck out. There we go. You can see the disaster that's about to unfold in the 3 minutes. Oh, this just literally happened. So this is perfect. While I'm recording this, we can live stamp this on what's going to happen. You can see, here's how you can tell if this is going to be anything. We need to get into the 1 minute time frame because this is literally just going on. This is great. Couldn't happen at a better time. And it's right after it looks like the clock changed. You can see how we pumped up on this wick. Why does it look so shitty? You can see how that pumped up on the wick, right? But look at the volume. There's no volume, right? See the volume down there? It's got one big candlestick of volume, and that's it. Second thing is, big wick right there. Very bearish. Third thing is, next few candles, no volume. I would forecast this to come straight back down to the 200-day moving average very, very quickly. As soon as the volume comes back in, I could see that happening immediately, right? I think this is going to immediately turn around and flip. This is a big fake out, trying to sucker in some buyers, right? Oh, that's why this looks so weird, because this thing is very thinly traded. It almost looks like a 1960 stock market when you're looking at the 1 minute time frame, but I think this is going to quickly sell off, and it's just a big fake out, and you're coming right back down again. And then I think you're going to come down here and maybe double the bottom back here. I do not think you're moving up into here. I think that was a fake out there based on the volume, but the price does not move a lot like these other coins. You'd have to sit there and watch it and wait for the 1 minute candle where it moves. And then again, just like we've been talking about here, we went over the power of these fib circles, right? And you can see we got rejected on this upper fib circle, and we've been following this coin now for a while, and we've seen it got rejected at $7.30. Then it got rejected again at $6.82. Then it got rejected again at $6.51. And we were watching it when we were forecasting here for the first time when it was getting supported off of here. Said this was your upper resistance. And then we went in how this was going to be your lower support down here. And we're in this little wedge. And if you broke down, you're going to break down and come down, right? And then when we pump back up the other day, I'm skipping through and just doing brief synopses. If you want to see the in-depth TA back there on those actual days when it was actually happening, go watch some videos from back on December 8th, December 7th, December 10th, right, last week. And then we diagnosed and thought this might be a head and shoulders topping reversal pattern when the coin was sitting in here, right? So none of this data over here, we didn't have any of that when we made that forecast and drew this out, right? And the targeted move on that is all the way down here at $3.43, or the double bottom from the flash crash of the crypto market. But we kind of figured that this might or could top out, because you can see every single time we've hit this blue ring right here with our industry exclusive purchasing tool, rejection, 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 right? So we thought we were going to get rejected again and possibly come all the way down here to these underneath targets we have on the falling channel down here at $2.43, or the blue ring down here. And the targeted move out of this head and shoulders 15-minute time frame topping reversal pattern is down there. And we think that's where you're going to go right here. You can see the head and shoulders topping reversal pattern, the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, right? And then you can see we came down like we thought, broke the neckline, got a little bit of a fake out, and then bam, down again, right? So we're going to pay attention for this. If you're trying to get this coin bullish, you have to break above here with some volume, but the volume continues to decline down even during the pump, which is very bearish. The only red candles in volume you see right here, right here, right here, right there, right there, they're all red, any of the volume spikes. So I think this thing's going to trade down, and as you come up again right here, I think you're going to get industry exclusive drawing tool. I think you're going to get rejected. If you try to come back up here again, you could fake out like you did back there, but I think that would get you rejected, and you're going to trade right back down to the volume, the major volume box, the green support box, right? If you get below that, you're going to be very bearish. But I think you're going to get rejected off that and have a bigger flush down to that technical target right here that we have laid out. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.